Hi there, my name is Michael Hyden of Hyden Design Group, and this is part of that the questions you never realized or didn't know to ask. I'm standing here in front of a vacant lot. People always approach me when they're wanting to do a custom home design. They're always asking, where do we begin? Well, this is where you begin. You select a piece of property. It could be what we call a typical city lot like this, or it could be acreage, but nevertheless you need to purchase and own a piece of property. I can design you a house without a piece of property, but what does happen often is you'll find a piece of property and the house that we did, it doesn't work because it wasn't designed for that. So I always encourage clients to go ahead and find a piece of property. One of the tips that I always like to throw out to people is take in consideration when you're looking at your property that you're going to purchase is to find out where the prevailing breeze is coming from. Now, I'm in the southwest area of the country and the prevailing breeze is south-southeast. So basically what you want is to have the back of your house looking toward that direction. Why? Reason being is if you're an outdoor person, you want to be outside, you're going to entertain, you want to do some entertainment, this type of deal. Let's say you want to put a swimming pool in, or you're going to do a sports court or something out there for your kids to play in, or you're going to do gardens, whatever. You don't want your house to block that breeze. And if the area of the country that you're going to build your house, the prevailing breeze is southwest or whatever, again, that's where you want to put the back of your house if possible. Also, when you're looking at property, is views. If there's any views, is there any trees? Is there anything that you're going to be interested in trying to preserve? I recommend that depending on the slope of the land, sometimes you need to have a surveyor, engineer go out and do a topography. That's to shoot what we call the grade, so we can see what the contour of the land is looking like. If you've got trees that you want to try to save in the design, then again we want to use that same surveyor to go out there and locate those trees where they are on the site plan, so that when we're developing a house we have all that information. So when I first start doing sketching on there, and it's a freehand sketch, but I'm using the outline of the property and all the information of that property on that paper, we can see how close we can go to a tree. We can see what kind of views that we're going to have. All this stuff could be worked out in the design process. So what we're then doing is we're taking a house and we're fitting it to the property that you select to maximize the view, maximize the breeze, maximize the visual effects of it. Something else you might want to look at is this piece of property here behind me has a slope down. So, you know, that's what we call typically an undesirable lot because it's kind of slopes. It's going to require a somewhat more expensive foundation. But again, if you stay focused on why you bought that property, the view you have, like in the case here, we've got a view of this hill with these trees. It's always going to be there. You're never going to lose that. Well, then we designed the house to maximize all of that. And for depending on the slope of the land, we can do what's called a walkout, where from the street it looks like a one-story house, but on the back side of the house it looks like a two-story because we actually step down. That's very popular farther up north where they do a lot more with basements and this type of deal. But that's part of the process of finding that piece of property. Find what you want, where you want to live, what schools and all the stuff that you want to factor in if you have kids that you're going to want to factor that. Everything starts with a piece of property. Thank you for watching.